Well, whatever you're up to, it's nice to be chatting away to you. As always, playing you some good music as well. It's Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio. Nathan Edwards will be joining me very shortly. He's released a biography about his life. It's a story of struggle, struggling with disability, struggling with abuse. I say struggling with abuse. He was abused, and that caused him massive problems in his own well-being, of course. And now he's looking to put his own experiences to good use and help disabled people in the town and help their experiences and help how they actually experience. I say the town, the city, of course, of Milton Keynes. And Nathan will be joining me in my studio very shortly. We've got Running later on with Rod Stewart. You're in my heart. You're listening to Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio. You know, my programme's all about giving a platform for local people to tell their story. That's exactly what I'm going to do here for Milton Keynes local Nathan Edwards. He's released a book about his life. It's a tale of struggle, a tale of abuse, a tale of disability as well. He was born with cerebral palsy, but that's only the beginning of Nathan's story. He's been speaking out about his ideas to help disabled people in the town. And above all, Nathan, you've been speaking out to give a message of hope, really. This is the sense I get, that actually you at various times have been dumped by the wayside. I think we can say that. Mm-hmm. And you want to say that, do you know what? There is a way out.
Yeah, there is no need for a pecking order. There is no need for these labels and boxes and people. They want to put people like me a label. They want us to be just put to the side.
Yeah.
And no more.
When I picked up your book and I read it, it was much darker than I was expecting. I'd read the article in the, I think it was in the MK Citizen, where we found you. And there you were talking about, you want to help disabled people in the city date better and make their lives easier. I thought, this is interesting. I picked up your book, and within the first page, you realise that this has been a very tough 26 years. How old are you now? 26. Yeah, it's been a very tough 26 years for you. Starting with your mum, who just could not accept you as you were.
No. Very hard-working woman, was more interested in working than being a mother, and she made her choice, and it was work rather than her son.
Let's not flower this. She was very abusive, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. Pushed me down the stairs, burnt me in the bath, hit me with shoes, coat hangers, kicked me in the stomach. Yeah.
And a dad who was absent.
Never there. Left when I was 3.
Yeah. This sounds to me like hell on earth, because we look to our parents as our caregivers to show us something that we can actually hold on to. You've got an abusive mum and an absent father. It's about as bad a deck of cards as you could be dealt.
Yeah, but the most horrible thing is, when you're looking for that shining light, when you're looking for that beam, it was all around me, not just my mum. It was my uncle as well, and her mother for a period of time. So that a period of time, there was just no way out. It was just a whole dark cloud around me. So that's when you would, obviously, you're going to become very sheltered, because there's just there's this darkness around you.
Yeah. There's an interesting moment in your story where you talk about your grandfather's funeral, because your gran and your granddad were clearly important people in your life, and,
Yes.
and at times really hauled you up by your breeches and kept you going. Your granddad died. And there's this double heartbreak, because you talk about the funeral, which of course in itself was really, really sad. Yep. But it was the first time you realised that actually in the family you weren't hated. People didn't think you were stupid. People actually held Nathan in pretty high regard.
Yeah. I went back, the car pulled up outside the church, and the amount of people that came out and said, "You've grown. Oh my goodness, you're so tall. Look at you." And I couldn't believe the response.
Yeah.
But I'd also would like to say that day is the second most horriblest day in my life, because when you go up and you give speeches, I wasn't allowed to talk. They wouldn't let me go up and talk about my granddad.
Why is that?
And I don't know. And I wasn't in the programme either. There was a picture of me in the programme and they cut me out.
Did you ever work out why that was?
Nope. Never got given an answer. Every time I bring these issues up, they just get ignored.
It feels to me, Nathan, like at various points, indeed I would say at all points,
Yep.
parts of your family have almost been embarrassed of you, embarrassed that you're there.
Yep. That their ignorance and their ignoring me gives me the strength to do what I'm doing now.
Why do you think they ignored you? Why could your mum not accept you as you were?
Maybe because of her own problems, maybe because of her own background. That's still no excuse. Maybe because things that were going on in her life, she just wasn't equipped. I don't know, not ready. She didn't realise what parenting would entail. I have no idea, but I've tried to get the answers, but no one will give them.
Let me ask you this question, and I phrase it in inverted commas, I think, but I hope you understand the context. Do you think your mum and your family resented your disability? Could they not deal with it?
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe they couldn't deal with it. Different, not the norm. Not something that they could answer questions about. I feel like, it would bring them out into somewhere where they don't want to be.
Yeah, I wonder also whether in your community and in your family there is this sense of appearance, keeping up appearance, being perfect. We all, I think, experience this in various ways in the families and communities we live in. Was that particularly pervasive in your community?
Friends and family, friends loved me.
Yeah.
Their friends loved me. Everybody else were being family members when they weren't. So I couldn't understand why certain members of my family were very distant and very cruel. I come from a West Indian background,
Right.
obviously very hard, tough. There is no room for error. There is no room for mistakes. You have to be a man at a certain
Tough.
age.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to be a child, so you grow up fast.
In the book, you talk about that speeded up version of growing up, speeded up version which involved alcohol,
Yep.
which involved smoking pot, which involved struggling to make friends at school.
Yep.
But then at the same time, and then at the same time, you say that even school said you were stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost as if, Nathan, you didn't stand a chance.
No, I always thought, where am I going to go? Because when you're told you're not academically clever and you're not going anywhere, and they say, Nathan, let's be honest, what are you going to do? So you end up on the wrong side. You end up going to that when you think there's no hope. No one's back. No one's on your side. No one's rooting for you. So you're going to go that way.
Is it a case that if they, and by that I mean school, for example, if you're told something enough, you end up believing it?
Yeah, when you're told you're thick, well, look at you, it's going to manifest in your mind, get in your brain, and it's going to stick with you, and it's going to affect your life.
How do you then get out of that mindset, Nathan?
For me, it was the music.
Yeah.
It was the wrestling. It was...
Yeah, this wrestling is a big part of
Yep.
your story.
Yes.
How does that come into your life?
When I was a little boy, funnily enough, my uncle and my mum, they watched wrestling.
Yeah.
And wrestling was on the TV. I remember, first seeing it on Eurosport,
Yeah.
Japanese wrestling, and then obviously the big wrestling like WWE.
Yeah.
So that's how, just loved it ever since. It just brings an emotion that I can't describe. It just tugs at my heartstrings. It's something that I've always loved. I've always wanted to go to America, and I've always wanted to go when they've come over here, but I've got a phobia of crowds. It's the same with football as well. I can't go because of my phobias.
Really?
Yeah.
And those phobias are what?
being in crowded places, in anxiety. I have to, when I go to things like parties or even wedding receptions, I have to get out.
Right.
I have to, it's too much. I have to move around. That's why you'll always see me, if you'd see me in a crowded place, I'd be moving around talking from person to person.
Yeah. There are moments, I mean, you refer to this in your book, and there are moments where you say, because of all of this, you see no way out.
No.
What do you mean by that?
When it's a really rough day and it's really dark and I'm calling people on the phone and I call my cousin or I call my sister and they don't pick up.
Right.
And I'm like, what's the point? I'm still trying to get that hope. I'm still thinking, please love me. Why won't you love me? And when that's not happening, I'm thinking...
But Nathan, as you say that's heartbreaking. That desire to be loved.
Yeah. That at the age of 26, I thought to myself, I'm still not good. Why am I still here? Why am I still begging my so-called family to love me when they clearly they don't want to? So you know what you're going to do? I thought, you know what, Nathan? Forget them.
I think. Listen. Also, they're not here to give their side of the story, and who knows what their version would be and what their explanation would be.
Yeah.
Moving it slightly on from that, you talk about love. I mean, you mentioned in the book that you really struggle with relationships as well.
Yeah. It's. I feel like I've got to try really harder.
Yeah.
Because as soon as a girl sees me, you know, I've already lost.
Right.
Because they know there's something wrong with him. Cerebral palsy, I've got the eye. You know, like I've said.
By the eye, you mean that, so your right eye
yep.
is looks to me, it's sort of almost like a silver colour.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look straight.
No.
Yeah.
No. So, you know, there's all these obstacles. So I'm there really... And because of my issues, it frightens them. And they feel like, am I going to have to take care of him? What do I do? But until they talk to me and they speak to me, then they know. But it's a game that I have to play.
And this is all about perception, isn't it? There's a chapter in the book where you say, if I were Prime Minister.
Yes.
So come on, here's your moment. 3 things. Change the world for me, Nathan.
If I was Prime Minister... if I was Prime Minister, there would be specific places for disabled people's needs.
Right.
So we wouldn't get this mixture of, because there's a lot of places. I live in a place which is for complex needs, and it's very difficult for us to get the help that we need because there's so many people with a variety of problems. But it's not specific. So then when you're dealing with somebody else, you can't punish that person like you're punishing somebody else because it's unfair. So I would get separate. I would try to sort of simplify it a bit more. So it's fairer on people like that. Equal pay, job wise, for men and women. Equal. For men and women.
The root of it all for you there, isn't it, is just love and be loved.
Love
Surely,
and be loved.
I know that's a cliche, but that strikes me, Nathan, as where you're going with all of this.
I just feel like we're all, we all bleed the same, we all talk the same, we all deserve the same.
Yeah. You've written the book. You've written it with is her name Kirsty Brinklow? I've lost her name.
Kerry Marie Brinklow.
Kerry Marie Brinklow. I know Kirsty Brinklow. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it is available online. If you want to buy it, it's available as a Kindle book on Amazon. It's called Take Me Seriously, a biography of a young man growing up with the social, emotional and physical challenges of cerebral palsy. Why have you done this?
Just to say that there is a way out. You can achieve whatever you're set to achieve, and there is no bar. There is no bar holding you down. You can be whoever you want to be, and don't let somebody tell you that you should be that person.
Because that's what you've had all your life, from authorities, from the state, from the council, I guess from your family as well, telling you what you should be.
Yep.
Are you now ready at 26, Nathan, to be what you want to be?
Yes, I'm ready to be who I want to be.
And by the way, who is that?
On my T-shirt?
No, who do you want to be?
Who do I want to be? I want to be...
And who is on your T-shirt while we're at it?
I want to be... Oh, Shawn Michaels. I want to be a star.
And you want to be yourself, don't you?
I don't want to be myself. I want to be Nathan Edwards.
Good luck.
Thank you
Take
very
me
much.
seriously. If you want to read Nathan's story, you can find it online in ebook form. And good luck with all your projects in Milton Keynes. There's Nathan Edwards. You're listening to Nick Coffer on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Treasure Quest.